Never leak it or show it. Gotta pull your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come here with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Elena the Poet, and we're back at it with another episode of Eat with the Poet. We are downtown Fort Lauderdale at Smitty's Wings. Shout out to Miss Helen. Shout out to Chris Smith. Shout out to the chef in the back for chefing it up. One time for the wings and fries. Today we are going to get right into the meat of what is a full course meal. All right, it is the thing that we are all responsible for educating ourselves on and adjusting our lives accordingly. Amen. So that we maintain in order to continue with the journey that God has assigned to each one of us. And that's on period, right? Like the girl say, on period. Listen, we're talking about COVID-19 and the many variants. We are talking about the vaccine, the mask, Florida, it not being fully mandated here. And today my panel is full. I got some amazing queens in the building, all right? And they are going to sit with me. We're going to sit around the table. We're going to eat. I'm going to let them tell you what they got going on, who they are, where you can find them. And we're going to get right into it. Y'all stay tuned. Eat with the Poet.
Hey guys, it's your girl Elena the Poet, and by now you've heard of my show Eat with the Poet. It is deep conversations with South Florida's known unknown gem. You guys need to go to YouTube, go to Elena Poet, subscribe, hit the like, and drop a comment. Watch a few shows. But listen, we on a journey. And we doing this together. Subscribe.
Pay attention to Elena and her podcast.
And we are back. We are back. Eat with the Poet. And I am at the table with my amazing guests. Okay? And I'll tell you why. These are some beautiful women. And they got some seeds. And they are planting back into God's universe. So we are so grateful to have them here. To the right of me, I have the amazing, wonderful principal that is Karen Moreland. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Miss Moreland, but I just want you to say hey to the people. Tell them your name, who you are, where they can find you.
Hello, I'm Karen Moreland, and I am the principal and founder of Moreland's Alternative Educational Academy. And you can find me at 3171 West Atlantic Boulevard in the beautiful city of Pompano Beach, educating our children.
That's it. That's it right there, sis. And next to her is her wonderful, fabulous, okay, sister, Miss Tundra King. And I just need you to tell people who you are and where they can find you and what you have going on, anything you want to let people know about so they can, you know, support that. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for having me, for having us. My name is Tundra King. I am the big sister to Karen Moreland, and she is the principal, proud principal, I might add,
yes,
of Moreland's Alternative Educational Academy.
Yes.
And I am her cohort, if you will. So I would say I would serve as the dean of students and anywhere else that she needs me. And yes, you can find us in Pompano Beach, where we educate the whole child. And we're excited to be here and excited to tell you a few things about Moreland Academy and what we have going on.
Yes. Oh, I felt that in my spirit. Now keep in mind, y'all, this whole series of shows is about the known, unknown gems of South Florida. So we're highlighting amazingness. People that is doing things to give back to the community and that's actively making a difference. Y'all need to know about these folk. Now to the left of me is my sister and my friends. I love her so dearly, and she is a ball of gifts. I always say black people got like 30 gifts apiece. But this lady right here is special to me, especially because she is a poet. And y'all know I'm Elena the Poet. So this woman is a poet, she's a teacher, and so many other things. This is Katrina Sapp, Poetiss. You may know her as, can you talk to these people?
Hi, I am Poetiss. If you've ever seen me on any stage, on any street side even, doing poetry. I'm also Miss SAP to, at this point, hundreds of people, grown and children. Presently, I am a teacher of technology and creative writing in the Palm Beach County schools. So that's me.
Listen, and for my girls who want to put the Instagram out there, we'll just go ahead and make sure we put that stuff in the credits so people can know who you are and where they can find you. Now, what we needed to do is we needed to be sitting with teachers and educators today. There are many mothers and fathers that basically had to make a very serious decision on sending their children back to school. That was a big deal for me because I only have one child. She's 8 years old, and that was it. That was the gift. That's who God gave me, and I'm protecting that. Katrina here is also a mother of one, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. So this was a big deal, and this is special to my heart, and I'm so blessed and honored that these women came and sat with me today. We're talking about COVID-19. We're talking about the vaccine. Let me just get right into it. Is everybody vaccinated here?
I am.
I'm definitely vaccinated.
And you're vaccinated. Okay, so I'm not vaccinated, and I've seriously been thinking about it, especially with this new Delta variant. So I have been studying and reading up on it, and just educating myself through the Yale medicine articles, and just reading up on the differences and stuff like that on the vaccine. So that one is one that I have really changed course of how I had been thinking. Initially, I did a show back in early March with another artist. He's a DJ who had COVID-19, and he had got the vaccine, and then before this Delta variant and everything came out, it was a no. It was a hard no, and I wanted to speak with someone who had the vaccine and could give a perspective, and his perspective was he had COVID, and that's all that had to happen for him to go ahead and get that vaccine. Period.
It's rough.
So I get that. Let me just ask, how is it? School has started for you, right?
Yeah, this is our end of our second full week.
How has it been? How's it been since school has started back?
Okay, so we initially had an opt-out in Palm Beach County, which because, and this is public record, by the end of the first week, we had 603 kids positive, 96 teachers.
Jesus.
I teach 6th grade, and I'm just gonna say I presently have 7 on quarantine right now, 2 that I do know were positive. And they didn't get it at school. They got it from somebody at home. And that might even be okay if we didn't have someone whose child doesn't wear a mask and they are positive. Now that's one kid can basically take 10 kids out of circulation, so now they can't come to school either, positive or not.
All right, let me just interject, because a lot of the reason too why I wanted Miss Moreland here is because what they did was very brave. They took the initiative, and to me it had to be God. It couldn't have been anything else, or any other force. That just gave you the courage and the knowledge and the resources to come together with family and friends and to put together an alternative education option, because last year was rough for a lot of these kids that was home, that had to do the virtual school. And so God had to put that on your heart and y'all's heart to come together. So they've started an alternative education, and this is a smaller population of students and basically teachers, I believe, that are, if you could just elaborate a little bit, are retired.
Okay, so when we say alternative, we mean alternative ways of learning. Not all kids learn the same, so we pride ourselves at Moreland's Academy for giving our students personalized learning, meaning whatever terms that they need to learn, that's what we do. So last year when we got out of Broward schools, because I currently work for Broward Public Schools, and on August 31st, I will be returned after doing 33 years.
Let's go.
So I just felt the need, the Lord put it in my spirit, because we had already been talking about possibly opening a school, and he just dropped it in my spirit to open it up during COVID. And had I listened to other people, they were like, why would you open a school during COVID? And I must say, God was so good to us, because we opened a school during COVID. We didn't have any outbreaks in our school. And when it opened, it was mandated. We had masks. It was mandated masks for our students, and we would stop and clean several times during the day. And we educated and did a lot of activities with our students outside of the classroom, outside in the natural air. So it was good to be able to open the school during that time, because it gave us some alternative ways to do things, even in a more alternative style, versus had we started when it wasn't COVID.
Right.
Would you agree?
I definitely would agree. I think what helped us was parents helped us as well.
Yes.
So we impressed upon the kids how important it was to
Right.
wear masks,
Right.
to wash their hands. And then we had people that were very generous donors and gave us extra masks.
Yes.
So if a kid was sneezed, I said, throw that mask in the garbage,
Right.
get a new one,
Right.
go wash your hands. So I think us being really vigilant about that part of it. And after a while, the kids learned to keep the mask on, but it was difficult. I'm not going to say it wasn't difficult for the teachers and parents.
Right.
And teachers on the campus. So what Ms. Moreland said earlier, what we would do is we did a lot of outside activities, and this is where creativity comes in.
Right, right.
And this is the flexibility that we had, unlike Broward schools or other schools. I didn't have to ask anybody,
Right.
could I take the kids
Right,
outside
right.
under the tree? I didn't have
Yes.
to get permission
Yes.
from the area administrator as to, are we allowed to, let the kids have two P's, if you will, for that day, but just going outside, allowing them to have those few minutes of not wearing a mask, giving them that little breather that helped them to come back in the classroom and wear the mask as
Right,
required. So
right.
it took everybody. We sent home, we have something we call one call, wherein it's a text where we can send a phone call to all the parents, and we would constantly remind the parents, make sure the kids wash their hands. If the kids had a cold, parents kept the kids home. And us
They're
being
really good
small,
about that.
the parents were really, really good about that, because they didn't want someone else's kid to get sick. And we have, I think, one set of family members, there's 10 kids that are related that attend our school. And if one of them got sick, then they could potentially, like you said, infect our whole small school of about 80 kids. So the parents assisted us as well
Wow.
to ensure that if that child was sick or had a runny nose or had a cough, they kept that child home.
Wow,
And I think
yes.
that's what made the difference.
It does make the difference, y'all. And I'm not gonna tell y'all no lies. Y'all know I'm a little country, so pardon me. Y'all educators, but listen. When I walk into your school, I feel comfortable, and I'm funny. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I'm funny. I'm just funny. I had completely decided we was gonna do Connects Florida Academy, which is the
She sure
online,
did, yep.
which is the online. Remember when we spoke?
I remember
I
when we
was
spoke
talking to her
about
on the
it.
phone,
Yeah,
and I
she told
called
me
you,
that, and I was like-
and I say, and I was going to do the online school, then I was going to do a tutor 2 times a week to help with whatever she was doing, and it was my mindset. But my mother, shout out to Valerie Williams, author Valerie Williams one time. She doesn't have to say much to convince me to do anything. I just trust that lady with everything. And she was like, I'm telling you, Lena, you got to. And so when I walked in, I'm just like, man, And then from the time I spoke with you, you just gave me so much love in just an exchange of really a few words.
Okay.
It just felt like, because you had experienced love from my end, not necessarily me directly, but you
Yes.
had experienced love from my end, and that in return was a seed that you were like, you know what? And it just, I just thank God for him being in the details.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
He is so detailed. And so, now let me ask you, in regards to COVID, I just kind of want to know your opinion, since we're sitting around the table. You girls haven't dug into anything, but
We ate off camera.
But since we sitting around digging in and eating and stuff, how do you guys feel about the teachers or Broward teachers, and any one of you can take this, who, how do you feel about, what was your reaction when the governor stated that, they didn't have to wear masks, And how did you feel when the teachers actually stood up?
I was glad the teachers stood up, and some of the teachers in Broward County that stood up are some of my coworkers, and they will still be my coworkers until August 31st. But I just felt, I was just so glad that they felt the need to stand up, because so many times teachers sometimes get like cast to the wayside. Like, we teach the kids, but sometimes people don't value our opinion. So I was so glad that they, you know, stood up and said that the students need to wear the mask and that we needed to have a mask mandate. But when you look at it, it's all in the science that tells us that they need to wear the mask. I would take a different approach. I think it's a personal approach when it comes to taking the vaccine. But I think with the mask, I think, you know, you look at the science and say, you know what, okay, wear the mask. Yes,
it just makes sense.
Yes,
logically,
and
you know?
I know a lot of people didn't take the vaccine, and guess what? My personal opinion is they should, but I value their opinion if they don't want to. But I don't feel that same way about mandating the mask.
I think the mask is, to me, it's a no-brainer. Not only would the mask protect against, you know, the Delta variant as well as COVID, but there is something still out there as a common cold or flu. It would also protect against those things as well. Some people have, I took the vaccine because I'm around my elderly parents often, and they have a number of health issues. And it would be hard for me to live with myself if I were to be the reason that they contracted COVID.
How did your body respond to the vaccine?
I guess the Lord said, you already had cancer and I heal you from that. That's enough. So I breezed right through the vaccine. I didn't have, some people say they felt tired the next day. I feel that on any given day because we're at Moreland Academy all day. So that wouldn't have been any difference. I would have noticed anything. But what I do find ironic is Governor DeSantis, his kids attend private school where they're required to wear masks, but you don't want our kids to wear masks. So it's kind of an oxymoron if you ask me, that if your kids are going to wear masks so they can be safe, but you don't want to ensure our kids are safe. To me, wearing the mask is the minimum we could do to try and stop this virus. That's the minimum that we can do. You know, the other things that we do, washing our hands and cleaning surfaces. My mom said we should have been doing that all along. My mom has been COVID ready all our lives, raising 7 girls.
And cleaning with bleach.
My mom had about
I think as a culture we clean with bleach, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Even before COVID.
Bleach and Ajax pieces.
Yes.
Or put a little drop of
What
bleach
did
in your
Ajax,
water. But people look at me strange when I say that, but I'm like,
no, absolutely.
I thought everybody
No,
I'm Southern. Like you said, you were Southern, but we Southern, so I was really confused.
So when people said they couldn't find Clorox wipes,
I was like,
because they're all at my
I did.
parents' house. They had about 20 Clorox
that's
wipes
just things that we do
in the garage. It's just something that they do on a regular basis. So to me, wearing the mask is the bare minimum that we can do to protect ourselves and to protect others that may have underlying health conditions.
That's right.
And if you come to Moreland Academy, if you come onto our campus, I don't care who you are, the speech teacher, the city of Pompano coming for permits or whatever, you're going to wear a mask. It is a mandate to come on our campus, you must wear a mask. And it's going to continue. I don't need a governor to tell me how to keep our babies safe.
And that's just
and
it.
We're going to wear masks.
That's just it. And it's like it's funny you say that, and thank you for saying you don't need a governor, because when you said that his children go to a private school that require masks, you'd have to imagine that his choice for us is not personal, it's business. And so we need to be responsible and make our own decisions for ourselves and our children. Like, he made a decision for his household and how it would affect him directly. And so that was something that he did for his family, and we have to make choices for our families, because the choices that the government and people are making on a larger level, they're not personal. They're not for us specifically. They're for whatever other reasons.
Yes, political.
That they're making those choices.
Correct.
Political
Political.
reasons. Correct. Now let me ask, have anybody had any, you said that some of the ladies or people that you know that work are still working in the public schools. Have you gotten any feedback from them? What are they saying is the response now? I know you were saying some people passed away, but how are they saying it feels going to school since things have started back?
I've had some friends say it's very scary. It's very scary, and then they're kind of afraid. You almost can't tell the ones that don't wear the mask. You can't tell them to wear the mask. And I think it's like an unwritten rule with the ones that don't wear the mask. I've had some friends that say, I just kind of stay away from the kids that don't wear the mask. So I think you're sending your kid to school without the mask to also be an outcast. You make teachers that, you know, feel that we should have the mask.
Right.
You almost make them stay away from your child. Which I think I would probably do the same thing. Yeah, if I was in that setting.
And that's why it's something larger to me happening on a larger scale, because we are going to be messing with people's emotions and mental health, and all these different things are going to be occurring. Because I tell my baby, I teach her, if you're passing someone who doesn't really have a mask on, don't walk too close to them. You understand what I'm saying? And you know kids, kids, they extra. So, you know, it's like,
I already know.
They want to make it a known thing that they don't, she got a mask on.
I'm going to go all the way around.
Relax. Just mind your business.
I'm doing what you told me to do,
know
Mama. I'm obedient.
Yeah. But this is something that is going to be happening. There's so much going on. So I think it's important too, even with the school, and like how Sister Jackson was telling me that you guys pray and all these things are important. There is a energy in the atmosphere that's coming with COVID. It's a spirit of depression, a spirit of anxiety, a spirit
Taking
of
over
fear,
the mind.
a spirit of, of hatred, and just a whole lot of things that's coming with this virus too, that is messing with people on the inside.
Spirit of division too, might I add.
Oh my God.
I would say that the spirit of division ushered it in, and then spread out from that.
I agree.
I was actually running late because a poem hit me, right?
Okay.
And I was like,
What, you finna bless us?
we don't have. I said, we don't have. We got Dems and Repubs. The Dems and Repubs are like the Crips and the Bloods. And we just the street people walking along. And so we become the casualties of a battle that has nothing to do with us. They don't care about our kids. They don't care about our grandmas at home. They don't care about our godparents. And even with, because it was a long time before I got vaccinated, because for a long time I was not. But the reality is, I had to go back, and we were just talking about this, I had to go back and look at Tuskegee experiment, which is what a lot of people raise up for their reasoning not, and look at the fact that it wasn't that they gave them something. The Tuskegee experiment, they held the medicine from them and watched what it would do to them. Watched them get in pain, watched them lose their minds for lack of treatment.
Right.
Then I had to look at, so the vaccines come out, rich white people rushed to black neighborhoods, underserved neighborhoods, and got their vaccines first. Some of those same people are now people saying, oh, you don't need to get vaccinated, but you ran to my neighborhood to get it. So wait, you want to steal my vaccine the same way you want to steal my vote, and they don't come to steal stuff that ain't worth something. So I'm just saying
That's
what I'm
powerful. That's powerful, sis.
I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here about the talking, and we can cipher on it.
Yeah.
But I look at what gets done.
Right.
If they're running to steal it, just like Sistrunk, if they running to steal it, baby, it's value.
Yes.
It's value right
Yes.
there.
And that's what I tried to tell some of my friends on the days that they first opened for us to get the shots at the regional park on Sunrise.
Yes.
One day I came down Sunrise and the traffic was blocked from 441 all the way backed up to 95. And I didn't see many people of color in the cars. Yeah, I saw a lot of them coming, other people coming, the Bentleys, the Rolls Royces that would probably never come down side of town
To do nothing.
but they were taking advantage of something that we didn't take advantage of.
I understand to a certain degree. I understand the reluctancy, if you will,
You have to.
Definitely.
for our people not wanting the vaccine. But for years, our people have struggled with diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension. These are things that we've struggled with as a culture. And I think it goes way back to some of the things that we would, ingest and eat. We didn't have all these luxury stores in our neighborhood to go and get fresh fruit or the best meats. So our parents made the best of what they had.
That's right.
And then, they passed those things down to us, unknowingly. Some of those things,
were passed down weren't good for our health.
Right.
And so now we're trying to change that format.
Correct.
And we're trying to change those behaviors, but still we still have a lot of people out there that still have those ailments.
Right.
And because of that, for those persons to then get infected with COVID, it's just really, really bad.
Yeah.
And so many people have lost their lives prior to the vaccine. So now when I saw that something could possibly help, that's just like I had breast cancer. Now the doctor laid out my plan. He said, Ms. King, these are your choices. You need this surgery, you need a mastectomy, you need 7 to 8 rounds of chemo treatment, and you need 6 to 8 weeks of radiation. Yes, I prayed about it. And I had other people assist me in praying about it.
Right.
But he said, Miss King, if you do these things, you're going to live. And I'm here today to talk about it.
Let's go.
Now, I never,
That's all right.
I did some research, but I don't know who made the stuff that went in the things that I took for the chemo treatment. I don't know who makes, they call it the Red Devil. I don't know who made it. I don't know who makes the things that go in radiation, but I'm here today to talk about it. So some people say, well, I don't know all the ingredients, if you will. I don't know all the medical things that are included in what makes the vaccine.
It's called obedience.
But we're here to talk about it.
Yeah,
and so
and
I
a little
want
bit of Holy
more.
Spirit.
I want more black people to be here to not only talk about how I beat cancer, because I know the Lord said, you shall live and not die.
Come on.
But not only talk about that, but to prayerfully, it is your walk. It just like it's my walk to decide whether I wanted the chemo treatment and the radiation. That was my walk.
Right.
So yes, it is your choice. But if you don't want to think about yourself, think about your grandparents.
Right.
Think about your babies. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter. I want to live to see her grow up.
Right.
And so I know I had these other health concerns. And so I took the vaccine. It didn't do anything to me. When you're out there smoking marijuana, you don't know who grew it. But I see a lot of people saying, oh, marijuana is legal. You can smoke marijuana, but did you grow it? Did you provide the ingredients for how you grew it? Did you make the soil? No, you did not. You're just taking a chance, and you're saying it makes you feel better because you chose to smoke marijuana or other drugs. But now you want to know every founder and every detail and every molecule of what, and you should know some of those things. You should research those things. But as for me and mine, we took the vaccine. I'm glad I did. My parents are well, and I'm well, and I would recommend it to others. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Peace to all the queens.
What's up out there? We live.
Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people.
Everybody to tap in.
Eat with a poet.
Subscribe.
Never leak it or show it.
Shout out
Gotta
to
pull
Elena.
your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come here with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical.
Yeah.
Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens and the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elena the poet. Stayed down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dane County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a poet. Come eat with a poet.
Shout out to Elena the poet.
Cool people.
See, I need everybody to tap in, subscribe.
Real love.
You know what I'm talking about? Black power,
Black power.
black queens.
Black kings. All
Shout out
kings.
to all the kings.
All queens.
Forward movement.